Question 1. Why is night driving more dangerous than daytime driving? Option A. The engine runs hotter without the sun. Option B. Headlights only illuminate 50 feet ahead. Option C. Drivers cannot see hazards as quickly and have less time to respond. The correct answer is C. Drivers cannot see hazards as quickly and have less time to respond. Operating a truck after sunset severely limits visibility, meaning drivers cannot spot potential hazards quickly enough to take evasive action. Question 2. Pay close attention to the details on this next one. What does a 1.5 explosives placard indicate? Option A. Blasting agents. Option B. Inhalation hazard. Option C. Flammable solid. The correct answer is A. Blasting agents. Verifying the warning labels on a specialized load reveals a 1.5 diamond placard, which communicates to dockworkers and emergency personnel that the cargo contains blasting agents. Question 3. Watch your step. They are trying to fool you here. When driving down a long, steep grade, when should you downshift? Option A. Before starting down the grade. Option B. After your speed has already built up. Option C. Only when your brakes begin to fade. The correct answer is A. Before starting down the grade. Preparing to descend a severe mountain pass means a driver must downshift into a lower gear before cresting the hill, not after gravity accelerates the truck. Question 4. What type of endorsement is required to drive a vehicle hauling hazardous waste that requires placards? Option A. N endorsement. Option B. AT endorsement. Option C. NH endorsement. The correct answer is C. NH endorsement. Accepting a load of dangerous chemicals means any driver who wants to haul designated hazardous material required to be placarded must add an H endorsement. Question 5. If you experience a front tire blowout, what must you absolutely not do? Option A. Hold the steering wheel firmly with both hands. Option B. Brake hard immediately. Option C. Keep the vehicle moving straight. The correct answer is B. Brake hard immediately. Hearing the loud bang of a steer tire blowing out, your instinct might be to jam the brakes, but doing so will instantly cause a violent loss of control. Question 6. Attention driver. This question is known to be difficult. What is the safest way to remove a radiator cap when the engine is hot? Option A. Turn it quickly to release the pressure all at once. Option B. Never remove the radiator cap until the system has cooled. Option C. Pour cold water on it before twisting. The correct answer is B. Never remove the radiator cap until the system has cooled. Dealing with an overheating engine requires patience, as opening a pressurized hot radiator cap will cause boiling water and steam to severely burn you. Question 7. What is a common restriction placed on oversized loads operating under special transit permits? Option A. Driving is usually limited to certain times. Option B. They must only be driven on dirt roads. Option C. They are not allowed to use air brakes. The correct answer is A. Driving is usually limited to certain times. Hauling a massive wind turbine blade under an oversized permit means your driving is usually limited to certain times. Question 8. This next question is tough. Stay focused. When hauling a sealed load, what must you still check despite being unable to inspect the cargo directly? Option A. That the internal tie-downs meet the aggregate working load limit. Option B. That the cargo is properly balanced and not top-heavy. Option C. That you do not exceed gross weight and axle weight limits. The correct answer is C. That you do not exceed gross weight and axle weight limits. Picking up a pre-sealed trailer at a port means you cannot inspect the inside, but you must check that you do not exceed gross weight and axle weight limits. Question 9. What is a front-wheel skid usually caused by? Option A. Over-accelerating on dry pavement. Option B. Driving too fast for the road conditions. Option C. Applying the trailer brakes too hard. The correct answer is B. Driving too fast for the road conditions. Sliding straight off a snowy curve regardless of steering input indicates a front-wheel skid, which almost exclusively happens when a driver is traveling too fast for the slick conditions. Question 10. When driving in California, how much lower can speed limits be for trucks compared to cars? Option A. Up to 15 miles per hour. Option B. Up to 5 miles per hour. Option C. Up to 25 miles per hour. The correct answer is A. Up to 15 miles per hour. Navigating California freeways means truck drivers must be highly observant of speed limit signs, which can be up to 15 miles per hour slower than passenger car limits. Question 11. When must you inspect your cargo and its securing devices for the first time after starting a trip? Option A. Within the first 100 miles. Option B. After driving for 3 hours. Option C. Within the first 50 miles. The correct answer is C. Within the first 50 miles. As you merge onto the highway with a newly loaded trailer, you must inspect the cargo and its securing devices within the first 50 miles of the trip. Question 12. Beware of the hidden trick in this next question. Roughly how much blood alcohol concentration, BAC, does the human body eliminate every 40 minutes? Option A. 0.05%. Option B. 0.01%. Option C. 0.03%. The correct answer is B. 0.01%. Waiting to sober up requires extreme patience, as the human liver processes alcohol at a very slow, fixed rate of about 0.01% every 40 minutes. Question 13. Be careful. The choices here are very misleading. Which vehicles are required to stop at all railroad advance warning signs? Option A. All flatbed trucks. Option B. Passenger and hazmat carrying vehicles. Option C. Only school buses. The correct answer is B. Passenger and hazmat carrying vehicles. Approaching a railroad crossing mandates that any commercial vehicle carrying passengers or hazardous materials must come to a complete stop to check for trains. Question 14. Heads up. This is one of the hardest questions on the test. When the engine is at normal operating temperature, what should the oil pressure be? Option A. 5 to 20 psi. Option B. 100 to 120 psi. Option C. 35 to 75 psi. The correct answer is C. 35 to 75 psi. Monitoring the dashboard gauges during a long haul requires knowing that normal operating oil pressure should sit comfortably between 35 and 75 psi. Question 15. What is a physical distraction while driving? Option A. Daydreaming about the weekend. Option B. Engaging in an emotional conversation with a passenger. Option C. Taking your hands off the wheel to reach for an object. The correct answer is C. Taking your hands off the wheel to reach for an object. Reaching across the cab to grab a fallen water bottle is a physical distraction that physically removes your hands and eyes from the safe operation of the truck. Question 16. Focus up. This is a complex scenario. How much does the risk of being in a safety-critical event increase when a CMV driver engages in texting? Option A. 6 times greater. Option B. 10 times greater. Option C. 23.2 times greater. The correct answer is C. 23.2 times greater. Taking your eyes off the road to send a text message increases your risk of a crash, near crash, or lane deviation by a massive 23.2 times. Question 17. When are containerized loads generally used? Option A. When freight is carried partway by rail or ship. Option B. When transporting liquid hazardous materials exclusively. Option C. Only when the trip distance is under 100 miles. The correct answer is A. When freight is carried partway by rail or ship. Hauling goods straight from a maritime port usually involves containerized loads, which are used when freight is carried part way by rail or ship. Question 18. What is the rule for calculating the safe following distance for a heavy vehicle traveling under 40 miles per hour? Option A. 1 second for every 10 feet of vehicle length. Option B. 1 second for every 20 feet of vehicle length. Option C. 2 seconds for every 10 feet of vehicle length. The correct answer is A. 1 second for every 10 feet of vehicle length. Tailgating in the city must be avoided by keeping a space of 1 second for every 10 feet of vehicle length to brake in time. Question 19. This question has a catch. Think twice. At what point does a driver's blood alcohol concentration, BAC, legally prohibit them from driving a commercial vehicle? Option A. 0.04%. Option B. 0.08%. Option C. 0.01%. The correct answer is A. 0.04%. Submitting to a breathalyzer test after an incident means an administrative suspension is immediate if a commercial driver blows a 0.04% BAC or higher. Question 20. What is the most common cause of a frontwheel skid? Option A. Underinflated rear tires. Option B. Driving too fast for conditions. Option C. Applying the engine brake too hard. The correct answer is B. Driving too fast for conditions. Losing front steering control on a curve is almost always the result of a front-wheel skid caused by the driver traveling too fast for the wet or icy conditions. Question 21. Listen closely. This is a tough one. If your brakes fail on a long mountain downgrade, what is the safest way to escape? Option A. Turn off the engine immediately. Option B. Intentionally crash into the guardrail or mountain wall. Option C. Use a runaway truck escape ramp. The correct answer is C. Use a runaway truck escape ramp. Experiencing complete brake failure while descending a steep grade, a driver must immediately steer into a gravel-filled escape ramp to safely halt the rig. Question 22. This is a tricky one. Listen to all choices carefully. If the weight on the front axle is too light due to improper loading, what can occur? Option A. The vehicle will get better fuel economy. Option B. It can cause a front-wheel skid. Option C. The rear brakes will perform poorly. The correct answer is B. It can cause a front-wheel skid. Hauling a heavy load shifted entirely to the rear removes traction from the steer tires, easily triggering a dangerous front-wheel skid. Question 23. This question is designed to confuse you. Stay sharp. If a fire breaks out in a cargo van containing hazardous materials, what should you do with the van doors? Option A. Open them immediately to let the heat escape. Option B. Keep the doors shut to prevent oxygen from feeding the fire. Option C. Open one door slightly to spray water inside. The correct answer is B. Keep the doors shut to prevent oxygen from feeding the fire. Discovering smoke billowing from a closed trailer means you must leave the cargo doors securely closed, as opening them will introduce a rush of oxygen and accelerate the fire. Question 24. What is the first step you should take to protect the area at an accident scene? Option A. Start directing traffic with your hands. Option B. Pull the injured people out of their vehicles. Option C. Get your vehicle to the side of the road and put on four-way flashers. The correct answer is C. Get your vehicle to the side of the road and put on four-way flashers. Securing a fresh crash site requires the driver to pull their rig safely to the shoulder and activate four-way flashers to prevent subsequent pileups. Question 25. Careful driver. This is a classic trap. How long must an IFTA licensee retain records, such as the Individual Vehicle Distance Record, IVDR, to support their quarterly tax returns? Option A. A minimum of 4 years. Option B. A minimum of 2 years. Option C. For the active life of the vehicle. The correct answer is A. A minimum of 4 years. Managing your fleet's paperwork means you must keep the original IVDR records for a minimum of 4 years because they serve as source documents for tax calculation. Question 26. What is the principal way of controlling your speed on long downgrades? Option A. Pumping the foot brake. Option B. Using the trailer hand valve. Option C. Using the braking effect of the engine. The correct answer is C. Using the braking effect of the engine. Descending a steep mountain pass safely requires a driver to primarily rely on the braking effect of the engine in a lower gear to prevent brake fade. Question 27. Turn up the volume. You don't want to miss this detail. When driving through deep standing water, what is the best way to dry out wet brakes? Option A. Maintain light pressure on the brakes for a short distance while driving. Option B. Accelerate quickly so the wind dries the brakes. Option C. Pump the brake pedal rapidly and forcefully. The correct answer is A. Maintain light pressure on the brakes for a short distance while driving. Exiting a flooded road, keeping slight pressure on the brake pedal for a short distance creates friction heat that evaporates trapped moisture. Question 28. Pay attention. Many drivers miss this question. Why shouldn't you rely solely on your taillights when parked on the side of the road at night? Option A. Because taillights consume too much battery power. Option B. Because approaching drivers may think your vehicle is moving normally in a traffic lane and crash into you. Option C. Because the red color is hard to see in the dark. The correct answer is B. Because approaching drivers may think your vehicle is moving normally in a traffic lane and crash into you. Activating your four-way flashers is critical when parked on the shoulder at night so other drivers don't mistake your taillights for a moving vehicle. Question 29. Watch out! This is a known trap question. What is the average reaction time for an alert driver to physically apply the brakes after recognizing a hazard? Option A. 1/4 to 1/2 second. Option B. 3/4 to 1 full second. Option C. 2 seconds. The correct answer is B. 3/4 to 1 full second. Spotting a sudden obstacle, a fully alert driver's brain and body take about 3/4 to 1 second before the foot actually presses the brake pedal. Question 30. Why should you not let air out of a hot tire in very hot weather? Option A. Because it will melt the valve stem. Option B. Because the pressure will be too low when the tire cools off. Option C. Because it will cause an immediate blowout. The correct answer is B. Because the pressure will be too low when the tire cools off. Checking blazing hot tires in the desert means you must leave the pressure alone, as releasing air will leave the tire severely underinflated once it returns to normal temperatures. Question 31. What condition must the front-end structure, header board, be in to properly protect the driver? Option A. It must be painted a high visibility color. Option B. It must be in good condition and block the forward movement of any cargo. Option C. It must be completely constructed of solid steel plating without holes. The correct answer is B. It must be in good condition and block the forward movement of any cargo. Verifying your headache rack during pre-trip ensures the front-end structure is in good condition and should block the forward movement of any cargo you carry. Question 32. What simple check can you perform while driving to see if black ice is forming on the road? Option A. Roll down the window and feel the front of the mirror or antenna for ice. Option B. Slam on the brakes to test for skidding. Option C. Look behind to see if the tires are smoking. The correct answer is A. Roll down the window and feel the front of the mirror or antenna for ice. Passing through freezing rain, reaching out the window to feel the mirror bracket provides a quick physical warning that ice is starting to build up. Question 33. This question has a catch. Think twice. During a walk-around inspection, what color should the clearance lights be at the rear of the vehicle? Option A. Amber. Option B. White. Option C. Red. The correct answer is C. Red. Walking behind the trailer during a pre-trip inspection, a driver must verify that all rear clearance and identification lights are functioning and emit a red color. Question 34. What must you do with your shipping papers if you are transporting hazardous materials? Option A. Lock them in a secure safe in the sleeper berth. Option B. Keep them in a pouch on the driver's door or in clear view on the seat. Option C. Hand them to the first police officer you see on the trip. The correct answer is B. Keep them in a pouch on the driver's door or in clear view on the seat. Transporting a load of flammable liquids requires the driver to maintain the hazmat shipping papers in the driver's door pouch or clearly visible on the driver's seat. Question 35. Heads up. This is one of the hardest questions on the test. What should the engine oil pressure be at normal operating temperature? Option A. 5 to 20 psi. Option B. 100 to 120 psi. Option C. 35 to 75 psi. The correct answer is C. 35 to 75 psi. Monitoring the dashboard gauges while driving requires knowing that the oil pressure should be at 35 to 75 psi to ensure proper lubrication. Question 36. What is a common sign that a rear tire has failed or blown out? Option A. The steering wheel feels very heavy. Option B. The vehicle thumps or vibrates heavily. Option C. The engine temperature rises rapidly. The correct answer is B. The vehicle thumps or vibrates heavily. Cruising at highway speeds, a driver might not hear a rear blowout but will notice the entire vehicle thumping and vibrating heavily as the flat tire drags. Question 37. What should you do to warn drivers behind you of a tight turn or hazard ahead? Option A. Tap your horn 3 times. Option B. Flash your high beams. Option C. Brake early and flash your brake lights. The correct answer is C. Brake early and flash your brake lights. Approaching a slow, tight maneuver requires warning following traffic by applying the brakes early and lightly tapping the pedal to flash your brake lights. Question 38. What class of fire extinguisher should be used on an electrical fire? Option A. Class A. Option B. Water-based. Option C. Class B, C or A, B, C. The correct answer is C. Class B, C or A, B, C. Smothering a dangerous wire fire in the dash requires a B, C or A, B, C dry chemical extinguisher, as using water will cause a severe shock. Question 39. What protects people from spilled cargo and protects cargo from weather on an open bed? Option A. Covering the cargo. Option B. Installing higher side rails. Option C. Using double the amount of tie-down straps. The correct answer is A. Covering the cargo. Securing a load of dry cement bags on a flatbed requires you to cover the cargo to protect people from spilled cargo and protect the cargo from weather. Question 40. How many days of validity does a newly issued Commercial Learner's Permit, CLP, have? Option A. 365 days from the date of issuance. Option B. 90 days from the date of issuance. Option C. A maximum of 180 days from the date of issuance. The correct answer is C. A maximum of 180 days from the date of issuance. Planning your training timeline requires knowing that a CLP will be valid for a maximum of 180 days from the date of issuance. Question 41. Attention driver. This question is known to be difficult. When inspecting cargo securement on a trip, what is the required interval for truck tractors? Option A. Within the first 50 miles, and every 150 miles or 3 hours after. Option B. Every 100 miles or 2 hours, whichever comes first. Option C. Only at the beginning and end of the shift. The correct answer is A. Within the first 50 miles, and every 150 miles or 3 hours after. Hauling a heavy flatbed load dictates the driver physically inspects the chains or straps within the first 50 miles, and then every 150 miles or 3 hours thereafter. Question 42. Take your time with this one, it's difficult. When making a right turn in a large vehicle, why should you keep the rear close to the curb? Option A. To prevent other drivers from passing you on the right. Option B. To allow smaller vehicles to pass on the left. Option C. To avoid hitting overhead traffic lights. The correct answer is A. To prevent other drivers from passing you on the right. Executing a tight right turn safely requires keeping the trailer close to the curb so that impatient drivers do not attempt to squeeze past on the right side. Question 43. Why must you signal continuously during a turn? Option A. To keep the flasher relay warm. Option B. You need both hands on the wheel to turn safely. Option C. It is required to flash for at least 60 seconds. The correct answer is B. You need both hands on the wheel to turn safely. Executing a corner correctly requires leaving the turn signal on continuously because the driver needs both hands planted firmly on the steering wheel to maintain control. Question 44. When testing the parking brake, how do you verify that it holds? Option A. Release all brakes and let the vehicle roll backward. Option B. Place the vehicle in a low gear and gently pull forward against the applied parking brake. Option C. Accelerate to 10 miles per hour and pull the parking brake valve. The correct answer is B. Place the vehicle in a low gear and gently pull forward against the applied parking brake. Checking the tractor parking brakes requires placing the transmission in a low gear and gently applying throttle to ensure the brake pads hold the vehicle stationary against the engine's pull. Question 45. This is a hard question. Listen to all the options. How much space must be left between large vehicles driven in a caravan on the open highway? Option A. At least 50 feet. Option B. At least 100 feet. Option C. At least 300 feet. The correct answer is B. At least 100 feet. Convoying with other company trucks on a rural highway legally dictates leaving a minimum gap of 100 feet between rigs so that passenger cars have room to overtake and pass safely. Question 46. Be careful here. This is a very challenging question. What must you do to regain control during a frontwheel skid? Option A. Accelerate suddenly to gain momentum. Option B. Let off the accelerator and brakes to allow the wheels to turn freely. Option C. Press the brake pedal as hard as possible to stop the vehicle. The correct answer is B. Let off the accelerator and brakes to allow the wheels to turn freely. Losing steering control due to a front-wheel skid on ice can only be recovered by releasing both the gas and brake pedals so the vehicle slows naturally. Question 47. Which method is specifically shaped to fit snugly against cargo and secured to the deck to prevent sliding? Option A. Blocking. Option B. Bracing. Option C. Tie-downs. The correct answer is A. Blocking. Securing a heavy machine part to a flatbed often involves blocking, which is shaped to fit snugly against the cargo and secured to the deck. Question 48. What factors determine how high your blood alcohol concentration, BAC, will rise? Option A. It only depends on the type of alcohol consumed. Option B. The amount of alcohol you drink, how fast you drink it, and your body weight. Option C. Your height and whether you have eaten before drinking. The correct answer is B. The amount of alcohol you drink, how fast you drink it, and your body weight. Downing several drinks quickly will cause BAC to skyrocket much faster in a lightweight person than in a heavier individual who drinks slowly. Question 49. What type of trailer is particularly prone to getting stuck on raised railroad crossings? Option A. Standard dry vans. Option B. Low-slung units like lowboys or car carriers. Option C. Refrigerated trailers. The correct answer is B. Low-slung units like lowboys or car carriers. Routing a specialized load requires checking grade crossings carefully, as a lowboy trailer's extremely low ground clearance easily hangs up on raised tracks. Question 50. Watch your step. They are trying to fool you here. How much space should a driver of a 60-foot rig leave in front of them when traveling at 50 miles per hour? Option A. 6 seconds. Option B. 8 seconds. Option C. 7 seconds. The correct answer is C. 7 seconds. Cruising at 50 miles per hour in a 60-foot truck requires 6 seconds for the length, plus 1 additional second for traveling over 40 miles per hour, totaling 7 seconds of space. Thanks for watching. Good luck on your CDL exam.